Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be creating some budget-friendly farmhouse bathroom decor DIYs, and we're going to get started right now. Using one of Dollar Tree's plastic bins, this is already a beautiful dark gray, but I'm going to use some Krylon Fusion spray paint in the color Hammered Silver. And I'm going to be painting this in this beautiful and very large spray tint that my husband gave me for Christmas. This thing is absolutely amazing. It's so large you can put an actual piece of furniture in there. And I'll have this listed in my Amazon store if you are interested. Now, I gave this one solid coat on the bottom, and then I'm going to flip that over once it's dry to the touch and give it one solid coat on the inside. This spray paint made this plastic bin look like a true piece of metal. It turned out absolutely beautiful. Now, you can use this for many different ways. I'm going to use it to store rolled hand towels and washcloths in, but I think it would be really pretty to also use it to store toilet paper rolls in. But you could also rustic this up a little bit if you wanted to, but I loved that hammered metal silver look. And I truly love how project number 1 turned out. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think of this first project. It truly looks like a piece of metal rather than just a plastic bin. Now for our second project, I did spend a little bit more on this glass canister than I would normally do, but this is a very large canister and I bought it at Dollar General for $6. And once I removed that tag, I just used some alcohol and paper towel to get that glue residue off. And I created a decal on my Cricut. Now, any of the decals you see in today's video, I have as a free printable on my website, which is in my description box below. You can just click on my website link, go over there to the free printables, and then you can download that and use those free printables for your projects. If you do have a Cricut, I used the font Dom Casual Standard Regular, but you could download this and print it out on a label or use it as a guide to use an oil-based Sharpie to write on your project. Dollar Tree also sells these plastic scoops in their servingware section, and it comes with 2 for $1.25. And now you can fill your canister up with your favorite bath salts, which mine is lavender, made by Dr. Teal's. And I believe this canister is large enough that it could actually hold probably 2 bags. But I love how project number 2 turned out, and I hope you guys like it as well. Now for our next project, I'm going to use a Suave hand soap container that I've already had on hand, and I've already cleaned this out because I've already used all of the soap in it. So I'm going to remove the plastic that's around it. It was pretty tight, so I did have to use my utility knife to get that started so I could peel it off. And again, I'm going to use just some alcohol, rubbing alcohol on a paper towel and get any kind of glue residue off. And then I created another decal so that I could put lotion in this dispenser. Now you can find clear dispensers at Dollar Tree and Dollar General. I can never find a cylinder one. It's always like square or it has grooves in it. I just wanted a round cylinder shaped one, and I really didn't want to go to Walmart and spend between $5 and $12 for one. So I just reused a soap dispenser that I already had on hand, and then I'm going to create a soap decal for this one. Now this bottle is just a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier than the first bottle that I made for the lotion. So I wanted them to be a little bit different, and then I'm going to hold them up together at the bottom to make sure I put my decals in the same place so that when I set them up, they will look cohesive. Now we need something to set these on, so I'm going to create a tray, and I'm using 4 of these wood candle cups from Hobby Lobby. They come in a package of 6, and I think they're like $2.59 for 6 of them. And they're 3/4 of an inch by 1 inch, and I'm going to use one of Dollar Tree's silver serving trays. I'm going to use E6000 and glue each one of these cups to each corner of the bottom of the serving tray. And allow the glue to get tacky enough so that I'm able to carefully flip this over without those feet falling off. And then I can add a little bit of weight to it so that that E6000 can create that permanent hold. And I just put a candle and a couple of paint containers on top of it. I'm going to use that same spray paint in the colored Hammered Silver. And this time I have it on my spray turntable that my husband also gave me for Christmas, which comes in very handy. And I also have this listed in my Amazon store if you are interested. But you could also use a Lazy Susan, maybe an old one that you don't use anymore. They work just as well. I think the finish on this turned out absolutely beautiful. You could also rustic it up a little bit by distressing it, but I really like this silver and the way it turned out. And now I have a beautiful way to display soap, lotion, and of course those little cups you need when you brush your teeth. Our next project, I'm using some candle holders that I already had. I purchased these at a thrift store and I've already redone them, but they are distressed in a gray color. And I am updating my bathroom in more of a rustic farmhouse look. So I'm going to give them a base coat of Krylon Color Max paint and primer in the color Flat White. And this takes about one solid coat and then a touch up here and there just to give me a good base coat. Once that dries, I'm going to take some antique wax made by Waverly and a dry brush and then wipe most of that paint off. And then I'm going to go over all of the areas that would typically be worn. Now my candlesticks or candle holders have some imperfections in them. So I utilized that by taking the antique wax and really going over those imperfections and highlighting it and kind of bringing that out to give it a nice rustic distressed look. And this is just going to coordinate better with my bathroom. But you can use some candle holders and then I put LED candles on top of it just to give your bathroom that elegant feel. Our next project, I'm using this ceramic planter. I found this at a thrift store a while back for 75 cents. Now, I did clean the inside out really well because it was really dirty, but I loved the basket weave pattern on this. I'm going to use that same flat white spray paint. I gave this one solid coat, including the bottom, and then had to go back and touch up a few areas to cover up that lime green. I placed one of Dollar Tree's round styrofoam pieces in there because I'm going to be putting some artificial greenery in there, but you could certainly put a live plant. That would be absolutely beautiful. I am putting in two different kinds of artificial greenery. I believe these came from Hobby Lobby. I wanted the variation in the color of greenery and the dimension, and I thought this gave my bathroom a very nice, elegant yet natural look to it, and I think it turned out so beautiful. Again, I love that basket weave pattern on here. You guys, let me know what you think of this project. If you are enjoying today's projects, I would love for you to click that subscribe button and the notification bell below this video, and also visit me on all my other social media accounts. All those links are in my description box below. For our final project, I am using a thrifted picture frame. This one measures 16 1/4 inch by 13 1/4 inch on the outside, and the inside is 13 1/2 inches by 10 1/2 inches. Now, because I want to stain my picture frame, I'm going to remove the backing and the glass, and then I'm going to take a fine grit sanding block and go over the entire frame. Now, I should have probably used a coarser sanding block to remove most of that polyurethane, because when I stain it, it does not give me the dark effect that I'm looking for. I'm placing it on a trash bag just to protect my table, and I am using Minwax in the color Mission Oak. And when you're staining, please make sure to wear some gloves because this stuff is so sticky and so hard to remove from your skin. So I applied it with a foam brush and then took a lint-free cloth to wipe it off. And I did this for the entire piece, and I let it set overnight. and it just was not as dark as I wanted it to be. It is beautiful, but to go with my bathroom, I wanted it to be a little bit darker. So I decided to take some antique wax to go over this entire piece to darken it up. And again, what I should have done was take the sanding block and just really remove most of that poly so that that wood would absorb the stain. But being impatient, I decided to just go over it with the antique wax, and then I took my foam brush on the side to remove any of the lines and streaks from applying the wax. I allowed the wax to sit there. I did not wipe it off. And then I took the glass out to my spray tent, and I am using the flat white spray paint. I'm going to give this 2 thorough coats on one side, allowing it to dry in between coats. Then I'll flip it over and do 1 coat on the back side just in case you could see through it. On the side that I put the 2 coats, I am putting this triple thick clear glaze to provide some protection because I'm going to be adding a decal to this. So on my Cricut, I created this really cute decal, and of course I have this as a free printable on my website, and my website link is in my description box below, so you can go over, download that, and print it and use it for your project. Take that printable and insert it into a picture frame, and it would be really pretty. So I absolutely love how this decal turned out. Once my picture frame was dry, I'm going to reinsert the glass with the triple glaze facing the front of the frame because that's where I'm going to place my decal. I went ahead and put everything back in there so that I would be able to line my decal up perfectly on the front of that glass. And I was really careful. I didn't press too hard as I was burnishing over this because I was so scared I was going to chip the paint or pull the paint off. But it came out beautiful, and I was really, really slow as I pulled that transfer tape off. Again, because I was scared I was going to pull that paint off. But I love the 3D effect that it gives with that pop on top of the glass. I think this project turned out super beautiful. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. If you have a favorite, please let me know in the comments down below. I always love to know which one is your favorite. And I hope you are inspired to create beautiful home decor items for your bathroom at little to no cost. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. Please take care, and I will see you next time.